I mean, they got props. We have tortillas coming very soon. Like now. And that opening kickoff will lead to Kansas touching it first. Stone Harrington with the boot, and here is Jalen Daniels, who has been around a lot of college football. His 40th career start. He's seen winless seasons. He's seen comeback seasons. Everything under the sun. And Jalen Daniels knows upsets.
Yes, he does. He knows upsets. And when we asked him about this game, what does it mean to you? What do you got to do? He said, I just got to go out and play another game. Appreciate every single moment. He will not be rattled by this environment. And if he's not rattled, then his team won't be rattled. Let's see if they can go out here and get done what they need to on this first drive. And that's try to silence this crowd. Listen to him.
Now the first play, you see a couple of tight ends in motion for the Kansas Jayhawks. LeShawn Williams with the carry on first down behind an offensive line that has its work cut out for it, including Bryce Foster in the middle.
Yeah, Bryce Foster, he's got to be the one that's getting all the points done when they do all these motions and shifts. So I've actually seen him climb to the second level, and I think he's an underrated center at that position right now. And then on the back end, when you look at the wide receivers and the skill guys, Emmanuel Henderson Jr., former number 2 overall running back in the country, transfer from Alabama, who's transitioned to wide receiver, and he's one of the best wide receivers in the Big 12. Watch for him deep down the field. They're going to move him around, be their Where's Waldo Gadget type of guy.
And notable, Robert Henderson, a big play guy. Notable that Kansas just huddled for a long while there, trying to sap some time off the clock. Daniels using that elusiveness you were talking about. He gets to the 34. It'll be 3rd down and 1. This defense for Texas Tech, 11 points a game, and these defensive ends are nasty.
David Bailey and Romello Height, watch the get-off when these guys get up the field. It's Von Miller-esque. You talk about Senior Sack being out here at Texas Tech. They know what it looks like. And then you got number 10, Jacob Rodriguez, one of the best linebackers in the country. I think he's a little bit like Ed Reed with how he freestyles. And then John Curry there, the nickelback. This is the guy who is a legacy here at Texas Tech and a playmaker for them on defense.
Kansas will run. They've not been very good on 3rd down at all, but Williams has the first down. That's a big change for Kansas this year. They're 126th on 3rd down.
Yes, they're going to motion the guy back in and then bring him right back out, the tight end on the block. You're going to see a lot of this right there. Carson Brunn does a nice job getting up to the second level, creating just enough space for the running back, LeShawn Williams, to get the first down.
That motion for Texas Tech's defense, we'll watch it all day. What does that do just generally?
What it makes them do is it changes the strength of the formation, and they don't know if they're going to continue running to the flat, if they're going to stop and come back, so they have to pay attention to their keys.
That was Cam Pickett in motion as Daniels releases over to the far side. They'll get a first down with Bowden Gruen, one of those tight ends. Kansas's tight end room, you mentioned Gruen already, has been lethal this year.
Yeah, Kansas uses their tight ends just about as much as anyone else in the country. And why is that? It creates mismatches. You get these guys lined up on linebackers who aren't really built to cover. They're built to play the run. And they're making them play the run, play the pass, and then you're going to see them hit those seams down the middle of the field when they least expect it.
They'll go 5 wide, but one of those wide receivers is a tight end. Gruen, the freshman, back in. Kansas sapping time off the clock already, and this is a designed run for Daniels, and he is stacked up and dropped. Lee Hunter, who is a ball of energy, gets him for a loss of 1.
How do you stop the quarterback draw? Right here. You get penetration right up the middle so you can stop the run before it ever gets started. So you talk about Lee Hunter. These guys are making sure they're stout at the point of attack, and that is why that Kansas offensive line could not get to the second level to open it up.
There is an injured party down for Texas Tech that's currently being surrounded at the 46-yard line. Looks
like finding auto insurance coverage that
laws here. Now you talk about a guy who's
he's one of the foursome up front that allows them to get to the quarterback without sending pressure. And you remember he had that pick 6 against Kent State. 55-yarder. They're going to miss him in this game, but we're praying for his health.
A.J. Holmes is in for him. That was Henderson in motion out of the backfield. And Jalen Daniels with loads of time. Now that closes and he'll whistle it out of bounds. It's 3rd down and 11. Great coverage from Texas Tech.
Great coverage, and if you talk about a weakness for this defense, it could be the back end. So when they're having to cover for 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5, that's a long time. So credit to them using the pass rush to shell Jalen Daniels in and keep him in the pocket and not allow him to extend the play. Beautiful job right there by the secondary.
Texas Tech has a top 10 pressure rate in the FBS, and they do it quite often by rushing 4. We'll see what they bring on a 3rd down and 11. It's a delayed blitz, and they get there, and Bailey finishes the deal. It was Height first, and Bailey, you said it off the top. They crashed in together, a loss of 15.
These two guys are a menace to the quarterback in the pocket. And you're going to see Romello Height comes from here. David Bailey is on the outside. Height standing around in that spinner look, comes off the right edge. Both of those guys to the same side. You got to be kidding me. The quarterback is running for his life. And when those two get their arms around you, you're not getting away.
When they both get there, all bets are off. It's punt time for Finn Lappin for Kansas, and that goes rolling out of bounds away from Coy Aiken. So Alexa talked about Baron Morton, a young man who loves this program and Texas football.
Because they can run the ball, stop the run, and then it's a honky-tonk protection type of day, guys. It's going to be loud, it's going to be rowdy, but when the music starts, you got to hold your ground. They got to protect the quarterback.
And that's the thing, the music starts fast. Cameron Dickey right down the zipper of the defense to strike up the band, 71 yards. Thanks, Robert. He said, good players make one guy miss. Great players make 2 guys miss. What is it when you score a touchdown? You know,
Hill, where they were coming up in his 4th year, going up against Hebron, who had just won a state title, and he had guys that I played with, Romy Blaylock, John Jones, Chris Francis, and he brought that up in our meeting, and he felt like this team and the way they played against Utah earlier this season was that breakthrough moment that they now believe they can be dominant consistently.
He's now facing a different quarterback. Cole Ballard is in. He will run straight ahead. The ball came loose. Ballard fumbles it. It's on the deck, and Texas Tech says they have it. Oh, my goodness. You thought this place was loud at kickoff. This year in the takeaway department, 12 total, right? The 5 giveaways makes it the +7. But now Kansas, like Lance Leipold said to us, get it to the 4th quarter. They might struggle, depending on this possession, to get it to the 2nd quarter. Texas Tech an early flurry, and Baron Morton has loads of time. He rolls to his right, now back to the left. Morton, the right-handed quarterback, just wings it out of bounds. No reason to do too much. His father always told him, be needy, not greedy. And there, greed stayed away.
Yes, Baron Morton, that's growth for him. Anyone who's watched him over the course of his career knows, listen, you see the completion percentage there, you see the passing yards per game, and the touchdown to interception ratio. But this guy is not a little bit of a gunslinger. He's a whole lot of a gunslinger. He has never seen a throw that he doesn't like, and that, to me, showed growth.
This is a run, and it's a huge hole again for Dickey. He only ends up with 59 fewer yards that time. It's 12. Behind a Texas Tech offensive line that has guys from all sorts of different places and a freshman right tackle who's played well. But Davion Carter stands out to you.
Yes, he is a 6', 295-pound guard living in a sea of 6'5" giants.
It's another first down run. I love football for that, right? Doesn't matter the body type. You play well, you figure it out.
Exactly, and he is a people mover. You always say in the interior, in the trenches, the low man wins. Well, he's always going to be the low man, okay? Because he's not the tallest guy, but he's powerful. He squats a ton of weight, and when you look at him, teams say, you know, we're going to try to isolate this guy and attack him, and then they realize, hey, this guy can play.
Big time. 2nd down and 6. Right back to Dickey running to the right, and that'll be a tackle for loss by Keenan Caldwell, the senior defensive tackle for a Kansas defense. The front seven obviously is going to have its work cut out for it today. The back end as well, and this Texas Tech offense still does throw it a little bit more than they run it, but they pass it better and more efficiently.
They do, and you see highlighted there Jalen Todd. He is the best cover corner and the best corner for this Kansas defense, but it's not just about him. They've only got one of him. It's the other guys that have to cover this dynamic group of Texas Tech wide receivers.
Third down and 7. There's the pickup by Dickey. Beautifully done. Terrence Carter Jr. waltzes in for a 21-yard touchdown, and the swarm continues.
So sometimes we see these touchdown passes and we wonder, oh, what happened? I want you to watch Cameron Dickey right here step up in the pocket and put a block on linebacker Trey Lathan to give his quarterback an opportunity to find the wide open tight end Terrence Carter Jr. for the touchdown. That never happens if Cameron Dickey doesn't do what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, and why not go for 2 just for...
IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Dak and the Cowboys. Wow. Take on the Panthers. Or
every single strength coach in the country tells their guys you got to start fast and finish strong. And Texas Tech is starting faster than anyone else in the country. So he uses that and plays other spots once the quarterback gets off their first read, and you'll see that throughout today's game.
Former quarterback, you say. Daniels with a throw, and it's dropped incomplete by Keaton Kubeka. Former quarterback Jacob Rodriguez decides that he just wants to play catch with the fans before the game here. I mean, you talk about, look how excited they are.
Hey, did you see that guy that just caught the ball? They might need to put him at wide receiver in the red zone. He looked like he was at least 6'7".
I think they're pretty deep at wide receiver, I gotta say. But like, this is everything that sports should be, right?
Yes.
Jacob Rodriguez just making friends, taking selfies, by the way, with his new friends.
He understands they need this crowd to be in this game. They need this crowd to be in all of their home games for the rest of the season.
They go double tight end, and they go with Henderson, and he is smoked by Rodriguez. So he's friendly with the crowd, but not to the guys across the line of scrimmage from him.
Yeah, and this is one of the special things about Jacob Rodriguez. You're going to see he's coming all the way from the backside, and he's going to make the tackle all the way across the formation from a jet sweep action to one of the best receivers in the country. And you saw the way he finished there. He didn't just try to just get him down. He finished him with authority, ran through his near shoulder and let him know, hey man, I'm gonna be here all day.
As will this entire defense, and you can't live all day on 3rd down and 10 as Daniel Highshaw is in back for an injury for Kansas. But you see Bailey standing up, Height standing up. They do get it away. It's caught by Henderson, and he is dropped immediately by Amir Boyd, the junior transfer from UTEP. This is as solid of a defense, tackling-wise, you're going to see as well.
It is, and this is Amir Boyd right here. And listen, Kansas is number 12 in the country in yards after the catch because they break tackles like that on the edge. But Amir Boyd said, not today, buddy. I'm going to get you down to the ground. That's why I played that.
They look unstoppable. Right?
Yeah, this team is phenomenal. I played against that 2008 Grand Herald Michael Crabtree team. It wasn't fun.
It didn't look like it. Caleb Douglas on the catch and run. And our team comparison sponsored by IHG Hotels and Resorts. That play is going to bring down the average a little bit.
17.8 yards per play, and they haven't even run that many plays yet.
Jacoby Williams running behind the left side of the line at Sampson, and it's a first down for Texas Tech.
Oh, watch these big old locomotives getting around and getting out in front of Jacoby Williams, cutting off the backside edge. Oh, I mean, we couldn't show it to you because they're running plays so fast, but, man, they are running the crap out of football right now.
Parton was pulling, well done, as Reggie Virgil, the intended target, and DJ Graham knocks it away, 2nd down. Yeah, Jacob Ponton, the redshirt freshman in his 2nd year at Texas Tech, just 4 games last year, the right tackle. You see the athleticism on that play.
Yeah, this O-line isn't just big. They have good hips and good feet, so they can get out in front, and they love pulling both of those guards and tackles.
Morton had a free runner. He gets it away and got it to Virgil, who skates by 1 tackle, and thunders forward. It was Graham in there first who could not wrestle him down. It's another gain of 12.
And this is what we call a nice little scout route. He's going to push vertical and run that out route. And Reggie Virgil is known as lightning in the bottle deep down the field, but he's showing you right here he can make the catch, break the tackle, and get vertical for the first down. These wide receivers are extremely talented for Texas Tech.
He won a conference title at Miami, Ohio, as Morton checks it down, taking the easy way home to Carter that time, who will pick up a couple as Trey Lathan makes the stop. 2nd down and 7, but the play total as well for Texas Tech. We saw a quick touchdown early, 71 yards in the first touch. After that, though, they're a flurry.
Yeah, they want to run 100 plays a game if they possibly can. They got close last week with 94. That is their mission. How many plays can we run? How many points can we score?
On a handoff to Williams, who goes face-to-face and breaks the tackle. Williams to the 25-yard line. Austin Alexander and Williams were a long, long way from each other for a moment, and then together fast.
Oh, Lord, get that man some milk. Austin Alexander had to rearrange his face. Jacoby Williams, again, another home run hitting back, showing that he can play physical too.
Oh, patience there as well for Williams, who's twisted down by Jalen Todd. Texas Tech to the 11, first down again.
And this is the beauty of it right there. Terrence Carter Jr., who caught the touchdown pass, the tight end, comes inside and puts a block on the second-level linebacker. These guys are really willing to give it up for their teammates.
That was Morton for Douglas. 2nd down coming up, and that's a credit to Joey McGuire as there's a marker in. Hold that thought on the camaraderie, which we also have with our officiating crew. It's their turn. Got it. There you go.
Nice job, Benetti. Yeah, so they're running an RPO, so the offensive line kind of got a little far down the field, you know, beyond that barrier that they can have. And if that would have been caught and the ball wasn't tipped, then it would have been a legal man down the field. But all that's a moot point now. Or as my guy Joey says from Friends, a moot point.
You mean mute. You just did the anti-Joey. How you doing? You can't even say it wrong if you try.
That is true.
It's great. 2nd down. Morton on a design run. Baron Morton is upended. That time he was running behind the center, Sheridan Wilson, and it's 3rd down on the tackle from Todd. Red zone has been a problem for Texas Tech this year. They're 103rd in the country in red zone touchdowns. Why?
Because they're not taking enough shots on goal. When they get the ball thrown into the end zone, when we talk to offensive coordinator Matt Leftwich, that's what they want to do. So I anticipate them doing that right here.
Off the bunch. Oh, Douglas ran into Aiken and then caught the ball, but he's dropped by Alexander. Douglas and Aiken ran into each other to gum up that play. Upton Funk continues.
Which was one of the keys at the beginning of this game. Got to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Upton Belafonte, who has been perfect.
Understand that this is a special season. They have a special team, and they've got to make the most of it. So far today, they've done just that.
The student section was full like 2 hours before the game. Right when they opened the doors, Daniels on the roll. He's going to throw on the go, and he gets it away to Bryson Canty to set up a first down for Kansas. A much-needed first down to the Columbia transfer.
And right now for Kansas, I go back to my basketball references. Everything is difficult for them. They're doing between the legs, triple windmill, 360 dunks to get 5 yards. And for Texas Tech on offense and defense, it's almost like, you know, cutting on the backside, bounce pass with the thumbs down, finding easy ways to make plays. Kansas has to find a way to get easy completions for Jalen Daniels.
Like that to Kubeka, who's just short of the 30-yard line. He's hit by Balfour along with Wisniewski, the North Dakota State transfer, 2nd down.
And here's the thing, 2nd and 6 is a down that any offensive coordinator would live with. So, yeah, you're down 18. Maybe you have to hit these small underneath throws to get your quarterback in rhythm and your receivers to feel like they're a part of the game and just methodically work your way down the field. You can't get back 18 points in one play. Kansas has to remain patient.
But they're used to like 8 yards of play. Lance Leipold's team has been very good on first down this year. Daniels has to scoop that up and bail. Daniels showing the wheels. And he's to the 34. He's very close, and it looks like he's going to be a little bit short.
And what did I say in the open? You're going to see bad snap, low. Hey, this should be a negative play. Hey, maybe he could have caught that, but he picks it up and he takes what should be a negative play and turns it into a positive. That is his elusiveness on display there. He is a dynamic playmaker, and you saw it on that easy game.
Jalen Daniels saw that class that he came in with all basically leave. I mean, he's been around for an extra year now, and he said, we're trying to rebuild that love that we had with that whole group that I came in with. And this is a cauldron he's in right now. 3rd down and 1. They're going to let him dive for it over the top. Not exactly the tush push, but it got the job done, and it's 1st down Kansas.
Doesn't it feel like almost every time you see a quarterback get under center for a QB sneak now, the general thought is, oh, it's a tush push.
It's coming.
It's coming. Here, right there, they were trying to do it, but the tight end couldn't get there. He was too fast to get to that B gap.
1st down, Kansas.
Kansas just needs a sustained drive. I mean, their first couple plays went well. There was a loss of 1. Their 2nd and 11 turned into a 3rd and 11. Texas Tech got the ball and scored on the first play. The Red Raiders had it. On a 1st down with Gruen in motion. Daniels, height is behind him, and he smoked him.
He gets to the quarterback. You have no chance. That's your blind side, and if your left tackle cannot block one of the best pass rushers in the country, hey, you might need some help.
Big time. And from Georgia Tech to USC, Auburn, 3 different schools before he got here to Lubbock. LaMelo Height, 2nd and 17. Final play of quarter number 1 for Williams. Go.
Stand to the side.
Walk-off sent them to the 8.
Returning the ball over.
Don't make a bad situation. Got to go 1-0. Well, guess what? When you're down 18-0, you got to find a spark somewhere. Here, 3rd and 17. If you're Jalen Daniels, don't make a bad situation worse. If the check down is there, make that play.
Got to get all the way to the 45, and that's not going to. Gruen is swarmed. The ball came out. For a moment, he's down. The helmet came off as well, so it's going to be 4th down.
Oh my goodness. You're going to watch Bowden Gruen run a little sit route right over the ball, make this catch, and look at this Texas Tech defense swarm. Pull the ball out there from a hit again, this time from number 6, John Curry coming from depth. And then somehow Gruen hops back on top of it. It seems like things are just getting worse for this Kansas offense every single time they take a snap, Jason.
Maybe not the time for Kansas fans to let you know that Texas Tech has blocked 3 punts this year, but this one is free to Aiken, who just crumples forward to the 21.
Bear Morton today, 5 of 8, got a touchdown on the day, very efficient thus far. And they got a nice little pony attack there in the backfield with the tight end and the running back in the pistol.
Yeah, double tight here. Miller, who you mentioned, and then Carter in motion as well. And they'll run behind Miller with Dickey, who pinballs off of 1 man and then leans for 9. The versatility in a world of college football where you want to be able to run everything under the sun with the same personnel package, it's a specialty here.
It is, because these tight ends are not just good run blockers, but they're elite pass catchers as well.
Dickey on the run. Miller is one of their favorite blockers.
Yes. John Carlos Miller II is one of the favorite blockers. And I've talked about number 7, Terrence Carter Jr. This guy's from Killeen, Texas. He made it a point to come find me on the sideline before the game and say, hey, we're from the same place.
Love that. Dickey is cartwheeled down. He was hit by Lyric Rawls, the Oklahoma State transfer. You talked to him for longer about blocking or anything like that?
No, I just said, hey, I know you were from the same place. And listen, Jason, if you're from that Coppers Cove, Killeen, Texas area, and you're playing D1 college ball, you must be a baller. We don't get many that come out of there, but guys like Charles Tillman, Peanut Punch is from that area, amongst other greats. And Terrence Carter Jr. is trying to put his name in that category as well.
Morton pulls it and throws it, and nearly intercepted by Todd. It was a great read by Jalen Todd. 3rd down and 8. coming up.
Ooh, Jalen Todd. I'm going to drop a name here. Rondé Barber. You're going to see Jalen Todd right here. He's going to first play and see this inside receiver. Understand that once he goes by, he can fall off to the outside receiver. Rondé Barber used to do that all the time for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
One of the all-time greats. Morton right down the middle for Virgil, and that speed across the 45. First down, Texas Tech, just like that. Gain of 21.
Oh, my goodness. I love this switch release. You're going to see a switch release in and a switch release out between Reggie Virgil and John Carlos Miller II. Look at him run through the windows in the middle of the field. Smaller receivers in build typically don't do that, but Reggie Virgil is showing his versatility today.
Morton faked the screen and then went to Douglas anyway. A bullet down the right sideline for a first down. Little pump and go for you.
Hey, they faked the screen to Caleb Douglas and then had him then run a vertical route down the sideline. Sometimes those DBs think they have the play off. Don't ever think you have a play off against Texas Tech.
Dickey to the 11, but here is the tempo that they provide up to the line very quickly.
Yeah, you see the score of the game, 18-0 right now, early in the second quarter, and they're continuing to press. I see my guy, number 56, Davion Carter, right there with his hands on his hips, catching his breath. You see that? But what I would always tell my offensive linemen when we tempoed was, hey, if you're tired, just imagine how tired they are. Go out there and continue to dominate.
And they said, you throw the ball, we'll block. Thanks, though. Dickey on the run. Again, putting the head down. And rambling inside the 5. There is a marker in back at the 9. Second one.
The shove one, I don't think the first one was called at all, but the second one was definitely a hold.
Well, I could see why you thought it.
I definitely
but then the
did.
second one was a 10 out of 10 holding.
1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, you can't do that on a football field.
Second down. You're like, man, I don't know why they... There it is. Dickey dropped it. That ball was on the ground. It actually might have...
Threw it behind.
Yeah, they might be
Cameron
saved
Dickey.
We kind of talked about it from the...
So very clearly parallel to overturn. Mike, thank you for that. And they do get the fortune of 3rd and 12 that will go from the 19 instead of the 25-inch.
Yeah, Jason, I think you're also right. Him reaching back there may have saved him because it kind of looked like it was drifting a little bit forward.
Two tight ends again out in the pattern, and Morton is hit, and he is dragged down. Baron Morton sacked by Leroy.
To come back in this game, he's going to do it. And you hope for this young man that he can stay healthy, because when he's healthy, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
But remember, Will Hammond came in relief of Morton at Utah and was outstanding. So they do have options here as the field goal is good for Harrington. Large leads they've had. So Baron Morton.
It takes 4 to 5 weeks after you're cleared to actually feel like you're normal again. This is coming from a guy who's had a couple rolled and sprained ankles before.
Depending on the severity, of course, we'll see what Morton does coming up on that next drive. If Will Hammond starts to get tuned up as Highshaw on the run. If you're Kansas, what do you need on this drive?
You first need to get your first down. Once you get that first down, and now you're starting to wear a little bit on the defense. This defense for Texas Tech is so fresh that every time they come out, they're playing at full speed. It's not till you get that first down on a drive that you can actually start to fatigue them. And as they say, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Kansas has to find a way to stay on the field and convert third downs as well.
They are down one defensive lineman with the injury earlier as that goes to the sideline. And Henderson tight-roping for a first down. A.J. Holmes in for the injured Skylar Gill Howard on that Texas Tech defensive line. A little tempo from Kansas here getting to the line quickly, or at least Henderson thought there was going to be.
Yeah, like we talked about, get that first down right there, whole shot versus cover 2. They're trying to roll coverage to his side. Nice job.
Highshaw tripped up. He wanted to go farther there. He saw daylight.
And this is, Daniel Highshaw was their starting running back to start this season. And, he is coming back off an injury. He understands that, LeSean Williams has played well, but he wants to come back and reestablish himself and show that he can be the guy that they know him to be. And sometimes when you get those ankle tackles, it can really get on your nerves as a running back.
Second down. Pick up for a moment. Daniels whistles it wide, and he's got a first down, depending on the marker, to Levi Wentz with his 11th grab of the year. There are 2 flags down on the play. Kansas is walking the wrong direction for the Jayhawks.
And you got to make sure that you're aligned properly there if you're Levi Wentz, the outside receiver, so that you can actually get those eligibles down the field. They rolled coverage to him again, cover 2 look, and Jalen Daniels is seeing those whole shot looks really, really well, but you got to make sure you're lined up correctly first.
So that's on the receiver.
Yes.
Second down. Daniels with time. That's over to the far side and caught to the 40 for Pickett.
Daniels pass complete to Pickett.
It got deflected at the line, it looked like, and still ended up with him. That's as accurate of a pass you're going to see on a tipped ball.
Jacob Rodriguez getting the tip, but that's why you got to make sure you continue to finish the play and track the ball for those Kansas pass catchers.
Shaw runs into a bunch of black jerseys, including Rodriguez. That is the 6th tipped pass by Texas Tech this year in 6 games.
Yes, you're going to watch Rodriguez here as he comes through. This guy always finds a way to get to the football. It doesn't matter where it's at, in the pass game, in the running game. He is all over the place. It's almost as if, what do they have, those air tags? You can put the air tag on and he finds it. Wherever the ball is, they got an air tag on it, and Jacob Rodriguez is the owner.
No, that's a nickname for 2025. Air tag. Second down and 9. Pickett in motion. Daniels sees the pressure coming. He'll climb the pocket, and Daniels is hit by Rodriguez, and then Buck.
He said, great quarterbacks are erasers, right? They can erase the mistakes of some of the guys around them. Right there, the offensive line made a mistake, but Jalen Daniels erased it and made him right.
His coach said to him, like, look, somebody's going to miss a block. Okay, now what? Daniels pulls it and throws it, and that's right on target for a first down for Canty down to the 10.
It's just so beautiful here with the motion, and watch this nice slant by the wide receiver, Canty. Good throw. They move everybody out of those zones with the motion, and then they replace them with the football. That is where the motion comes into effect. It allows you to displace the defense and open up holes, and that's one thing that Jalen Daniels is really good at. He sees it so well, despite all of the eye candy going on around him.
He's watching the defense react to motion like this, yeah?
Exactly.
Henderson this time. They'll hit the back. Williams out of the backfield. Beautifully done.
Field, allow your defense to rest. Now your offense is feeling a little bit better about themselves.
Very important response for Kansas there. Had to have it. 9 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And Jalen Daniels, 10 out of 10 fashion here in Lubbock. They all are worried. Repeat what you have on Barry Morton.
Yeah, he went up and down the sideline during that Kansas drive to see if he could put pressure on that right ankle. His teammate.
Second, the next time the fans throw something on the field, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And so that's an issue for Joey McGuire. He was talking about that before the game, during his media message to the crowd, all that stuff.
Yeah, he loves the fact that they throw the tortillas early in the game. It's a tradition here. But after that, make the focus be on the field. And now you got Will Hammond in that quarterback. And we'll talk about him after the snap.
Jacoby Williams taken down behind the line by Bengali Kamara. It'll be second down, but Hammond, redshirt freshman, we mentioned it, great against Utah. What do we see?
Yeah, you're going to see a guy that has a little bit more dynamic dual threat ability to him. He can use his legs, but don't make a mistake. This guy could throw the football as he dirts one there. He can throw the football with the best of them. Had ice in his veins when he came into that Utah game. They are excited about him. Talking to offensive coordinator Mac Leftwich, they said the future is bright with this young man and what he brings to the table. They truly trust and believe that if something was to happen like it has so far tonight to Barry Morton, Will Hammond can still take them to where they want to go.
Perfect look at the signals there, because they say he is as prepared with the playbook as anybody on this roster. He's in there very early, and you hear that about a lot of guys, but they say he's almost robot-like in his preparation. Morton will throw, and that's behind Carter. So Texas Tech with a 3-and-out, and a hush falls over this stadium for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and what you saw there on his first two throws, one was low, one was behind. What does that mean? He didn't do a good enough job warming up on the sideline as he was getting ready to come into this game. Against Utah, he came in and he was firing on all cylinders there in the fourth quarter. If I'm him, I get back to the sideline, and this entire time, Coach, I don't even need to see the iPad. I knew I missed the throws. Let's get my juices flowing and warming up throwing this football.
Jack Burgess gets the punt away. Tate Nagy on the fair.
Not a lick.
That got issued after the first one on the kickoff. So that's what the penalty was for, to back up Texas Tech. So that's why that drive started back behind, as Kubeka has that reception, and he is doused at the 48-yard line by John Curry from Lubbock Coronado High School, second down.
You know what's funny about that play right there, Jason, is that's the same play they ran on the first or second play of the drive that they scored a touchdown on. Why? It gets them rolling. It makes the defense have to run sideline to sideline. The first time it was second and 6. Looks like they're in just about the same type of situation here in 2nd and 6. So they're going back to the well to see if this Tech defense is going to change anything that they did from the last drive.
Second down, Daniels under siege. He throws it to the near side, and Gruen is dropped immediately by Dante Balfour.
I want you guys to watch this. As Jalen Daniels comes off this fake, watch how many Texas Tech defenders are closing in on him. You got David Bailey, you got Lee Hunter. He is throwing the football saying, hey, don't hit me. I don't got it anymore, guys. This rush, whether it's in straight drop back, whether it's in play action pass, this Texas Tech defense is swarming.
For 6 weeks now. Pickett in motion. Third down. Whip it that way. It is dropped. It's Henderson.
And right now telling Emmanuel Henderson Jr., hey, man, I need you. I know you'll get it back.
You have to have that trust when you're trying to pull off an upset. Here is Coy Aiken on the fair catch to the 12-yard line. Tomorrow, the ALCS begins on Fox. Cal Raleigh and the Mariners trying to steal game 1 in Toronto after.
I felt for you.
So, thank you. Being through and downstairs to Alexa.
Well, after that last drive, Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire went up to every position group on the bench, and he said, guys, we need to finish drives. Will Hammond went up to his wide receivers and said, guys, that's on me. Let's see what they do on this drive, JB.
We got 3 on first down, and they're going to run it is what they're going to do. It's Dickey into the line at the 19. Taylor Davis with the stop. It's a gain of 2, 3rd and 5. So it was a quick 33-second 3-and-out last time.
Yeah, and these linebackers, and right there, Taylor Davis plays safety, but right there he was playing more of a dime linebacker spot, coming from depth, and they're reacting really fast. So that means if they play action, get over the middle of the field, there's going to be holes for days against this Kansas defense.
3rd and 5 for Hammond. He lets it rip right down the middle and squeezed it through to Cameron Dickey for a first down for Texas Tech. They had to have it.
Nice job here from Cameron Dickey getting out and running an angle route. That 70-yard touchdown he had last week against Houston, same exact play, and this time they moved the change with it instead of scoring a touchdown.
Big gash here, gain of 9 that time. Lathan with the stop, but Cam Dickey as a marker is in, so we'll check the marker here.
And they were both pretty obvious there, Jason.
In a big way. They came in with 20 false start or holding penalties this year, a huge number. This run for Jacoby Williams, they were tied for 126th in false start holding penalties combined, and you saw what that did to their whole penalty yardage.
Yeah, and you talk about those penalties, Jason, and look, they're second in the FBS in scoring. Imagine how much more efficient they could be on the offensive side of the ball if they didn't have those, as you said, guns pointed down, shooting themselves in the foot sometimes on some of these drives.
Yeah, it's been enough for Joey McGuire to say something about it. That's why he mentioned the tortilla throwing during the game. He said, we can't afford it. We're already so heavily penalized. Hammond this way, incomplete. And he didn't impede him early, you would say, right?
He didn't impede him early. He got to him a little early, but it was because he was trying to make that play on the ball, which is within his right.
Third down. Third down along. Hammond down the middle. It's a jump ball.
Trying to get it up and down and tackle him, that's holding. And what they say sometimes, Jason, is if you can't block him, just hold him, you know?
Problem is, with the sack,
caught.
right, they can decline the penalty, which they did, so it's 2nd and 15, so the sack counts. And we're going down to the 2-minute timeout. $8 JBC meal deal, limited time only. Kansas last year, a team that looked like it wasn't going to go to a bowl game. They eventually did not, but they won 3 straight games against ranked teams in November. They beat Iowa State by 9, BYU in a game where Jalen Daniels ended up punting once, and then Colorado by 16. It was the first team in FBS history to do that. And look, with Baron Morton out, who knows? It's 21-7 and Kansas on the ball.
Yeah, last year's Kansas team was better than their record said they were. They had the talent to get it done. This team is entirely reliant on Jalen Daniels, and he's playing at a high level so far tonight.
In motion, Williams here after Pickett, and throw a middle screen for Pickett. Cam Pickett on the run, and he is down at the 39. Jordan with the stop. It's going to be a first down. He got by McCarty first.
You're going to see Bryce Foster, the center, and also their right guard, Kobe Baines. Watch as Cam Pickett goes out, and they get out in front of him, and all they got to do is get in the way. Just get in the way enough so he has enough space. They tricked the defense in thinking it was going far right, and then right back down the middle.
They're going to call that 3rd and 1. It looked like he had it. Now they definitely have it with Pickett. It'll be a first down for Kansas.
And this is one of their staple plays. Cam Pickett caught a touchdown on this play earlier in the season. They put him in the backfield. They run him on a nice flat route with an RPO action with Jalen Daniels. Get him into that flat, get it to him easy, let him go make a play. They feel like Cam Pickett is much healthier now and running better, and you see it there.
Oh, good night. David Bailey in a heartbeat. He graduated from Stanford in under 4 years, and he runs like this.
I want you guys to watch how beautiful this spin move is by David Bailey. Upfield, whoop! Hit him with a spin cycle, and then made Jalen Daniels do a spin himself, Jason.
Yeah, he did. We're back in 30 seconds.
He sees
Create some issues for
field is where you want to right. Allows him to get there. Now I want to take you into the mind.
touchdown, Gruen. Points. You probably need a touchdown, but I get where you're coming from. It's 3rd down and 13 for Daniels. He'll lob it right down the middle. Touchdown, Gruen. Here come the Jayhawks with upset on their minds.
Now I want to take
Jayhawks, who did it all November last year.
Number 15, defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Justice Finkley.
You're going to see Justice Finkley at the top of the screen. This is some Aaron Rodgers level hard count there from Will Hammond to get him offsides. And then when you have that free play, throwing it up to your big play receiver, Caleb Douglas. Doesn't come down with it, but you love the attempt. And maybe letting that ball air out a little bit for Will Hammond without it getting intercepted will make him feel a little bit more confident throwing the football.
This is really a 3rd and 2, and Dickey hits a spin cycle for a first down for Texas Tech. Boy, they had to have that.
So you know what you do, Jason? When you make a mistake and run out of bounds, you get a hard count to get an easy 3rd down. You get that conversion so it doesn't come back to bite you.
Get him right back. Don't want to worry about it. Hammond on the roll. He'll drop it off for Dickey, and that's going to lose half a yard. Chased out by Graham with the pressure coming from Kamara. It'll be 2nd down for Texas Tech. They were up 21-0. Looked like it might be a walkover.
Brings up 2nd down, 10 to go.
Credit Kansas and Lance Leipold.
Yeah, just their ability to stay resilient, not give up on themselves, calm down, and claw back into this game has been impressive.
To the sideline, and Douglas is out of bounds again. Here's another 3rd down. We're still kind of in the middle of it, right? Texas Tech could drive it. Lance Leipold told Alexa Landis, we just need to settle down. They have. They love to have the ball back here after this third down.
And I think Texas Tech has an aggressive mindset here. Mac Leftwich is going into this saying, guys, we're not trying to play keep away. We're trying to go score. So we want to keep as much time as we can. That's why they're going out of bounds. And we'll see on this 36 if that's a mistake in their line of thinking.
See a wide splits there down at the bottom of the screen with Aiken in motion. Third down and 6. Whose strategy will be right? Hammond fading away. Incomplete.
The momentum on our side.
Spotlight on Lyric Rawls, y'all. There's a punt for Burgess. Nagy back to receive at the 17. He's got some room to the outside. Nagy all the way across the 30.
This game out. Now they found themselves in a dogfight. And you're right, Jason. 28 seconds left. Kansas has the football with two timeouts left. They could easily go in and get some more points before the half to make this even closer.
The Longford Marjan, their kicker this year, is 47. They feel like maybe 52 they can get to. This is a run. It's Highshaw. He's got the first down into Texas Tech territory. The clock will stop as they move the chains. We'll see if Kansas uses that timeout, and it looks like they will. There's one remaining. 22 seconds. That was a 6-second play to get 17.
And I just love this outside zone from the offensive line, and the back is going to get it and then hit that cutback, that patented cutback we used to see from the Denver Broncos and guys like Terrell Davis. Highshaw understands that. You read it one hat at a time. You allow the cutback to happen naturally. And that's a massive run as they close in on field goal range for the kicker.
They do. And by the way, they're still within range of a touchdown. You get one long intermediate to long pass play, who knows?
And they have opportunities to take shots at the end zone, as we've talked about. So for Kansas, this is the best case situation for how this game started to where they are right here before the half. This is exactly what you want to be as the road team, knowing that momentum is on your side. Let's see if this defense can get this crowd back into it to impact this offense.
Just 3 incompletions all day for Daniels. He throws it for the tight end, Gruen, who's stacked up. He tries to get out of bounds. He's down at the 45. That's an interesting choice. They're going to use their final timeout. 7 seconds plus your last timeout is not exactly the package you're looking for there. We'll see if Kansas can drive it when we're back in 30 seconds.
First watch.
Yard field goal at this point. It's right around the range where you feel like you have a shot.
I feel like they've been listening to us up here, Jason. There 2 times in a row, they run the sideline out of bounds play to get the tight end the football and stop the clock. I just don't understand why they didn't do that on first down so that they wouldn't have to waste that timeout and now have to attempt a 55-yard field goal.
There's a transfer from ECU by way of South Alabama, Laith Marjan, and we get a timeout from Texas Tech. Second attempt from 50-plus for Marjan in his career in all of his stops. From 55 for Kansas. It is on the way, and it is good! He
when the linebacker stepped up to stop.
there again. But Texas Tech in this run offense has been pretty good. They're top 30 in college football. So they'll go there again. It's Williams one more time, and Kansas stacks him up. It's a gain of 1. Keenan Caldwell, the longtime Jayhawk, makes it 3rd and 5. Texas Tech had a bunch of quick 3-and-outs as well late in that first half, and the well-painted folks are rather grim right now.
Yeah, you can feel it. The energy in the stadium isn't there right now. Baron Morton is the leader of this football team. He is their starting quarterback, but they have to find a way to allow Will Hammond to make a play that is going to give this offense energy.
Kansas showing pressure from the far side. Good job to pick that up, and Douglas has a first down. Howard Sampson, a big block to set up a gain of 13.
Very simple. Caleb Douglas is going to inside release, push vertical, and run an out route. avoids the defender there and sits down right in the zone. That is one thing that these receivers do a great job of. They want to be vertical threats, but they're also reading coverage really well.
Off the tempo, Lyric Rawls again, a vicious stick. And he's feeling it right now.
Yeah, and I think Lyric Rawls has been playing his tail off tonight, Jason. But when you look at Will Hammond and how he started this, he needs to settle in. So, yes, you want to be aggressive as an offensive coordinator, and that's what Mac Leftwich is known for. But sometimes you got to just take the little bitty pieces here and there to allow your quarterback to settle into the game.
Brissett gets Douglas one more time. So I know you weren't in the locker room, but I do wonder what that 20 minutes between halves can do for Will Hammond.
Yeah, as a quarterback, sometimes it's like going to the free throw line in basketball and you missed a couple threes and they say, you know what you need to do? You need to dribble drive, get to the basket, get a foul so you can get to the free throw line and just feel and see the ball go through the rim. That's what I think Mac Leftwich did at halftime. He said, hey, Will, we know you're a baller. I'm going to settle you in with the play calls.
On 3rd and 1, they didn't have the... And so Kamara with a huge play. And Kansas should get it back. Burgess on the punt for Texas Tech and a stunned Lubbock. All morning and afternoon.
So what matters most.
Pointed, half shirtless, full shirtless, varying degrees of shirtless fan base tonight here in Lubbock. Baron Morton on the sideline. Can't do anything about it. And you know it's eating him up. But you get Jalen Daniels, who's seen 40 starts worth of college football coming in, just looking to the sky, taking it all in. He knows how to handle spots like this.
Yes, he does. He started 1 for 3. He's been 17 of 18 since.
He'll run it this time behind Williams. A good block from his tailback and a first down for 11. Alexa talked to his head coach, Lance Leipold.
Yeah, well, JB, you asked Robert, what were those 20 minutes like for Hammond in the locker room? That's exactly what I asked Coach Leipold. What was your locker room like after that flip of the tide there to go into the half? He said, I got a pretty excited group of guys. We got to stay aggressive, play fast, keep that run game going. Also, Jalen Daniels firing up his group in the tunnel. This team means a lot to him, JB.
Alexa live from the middle of 500 cowbells. Are you okay down there? That was loud.
I'm dodging tortillas.
First down for Kansas from the 20. Daniels snaps it off near side. Bruin. It's a gain of 5. And Jalen Daniels, his first year, before Lance Leipold even got here, they didn't win a game. They were winless. Their only close loss was here in Lubbock. They lost 16-13. It was blowout city. Took a bunch of hits, and he stayed. And he gets injured, and he stays, and he stays, and he stays for games like this for the Kansas Jayhawks as Gruen has that catch close to the line of game.
Yeah, there's not a quarterback in the country that's been more loyal to their team than Jalen Daniels has been. There's probably been a number of teams that called in the offseason for the past few years, and he said, this is where I want to be. This is the team that I believe in. And you know, when he's gone from Kansas, he's going to have a place to go back to that he knows that he can call home. And that has been a concern with the transfer portal in college football today. But Kansas knows that they have their guy in Jalen Daniels.
And you mean that literally. He bought a house this past year in Lawrence, Kansas. On 3rd down and 1, and a little hesitation, and Williams is swallowed up. Oh, my. For Texas Tech, we hear a lot about the offense. It's their 6th tackle for loss this evening.
Yeah, they're playing at a high level. Their offense has left them out to dry a little bit at the end of the first half, but now they're trying to pick them back up.
Lappin on the punt. Aiken takes it in. The rodeo star as a kid.
Legend.
Time for RG3's double cross to the Schwam bobble. Dickey on first down. UNLV, Navy, Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia Tech have one. BYU and Texas A&M are in progress, and Texas Tech is trying to get a couple of first downs here.
Yeah, like I said, I think they need to really lean into the quarterback run, allow Will Hammond to go out there and do what he does best.
Or Quadzilla 2. Dickey down the sideline. First down, Red Raiders.
Oh, my goodness. I love it when the big fellas get out there and start moving. I want you to watch the left tackle, Howard Sampson, and Will Jados get out in front and get Dickey out to the edge untouched. He doesn't even have a defender touch him until he's about 20 yards down the field. That's what you love if you're a running back. open space, and the big uglies up front are making it happen.
And fortunately for Kansas, Robert, Texas Tech substituted so they could get a couple new defensive linemen in, and Kamara is right there again. Bengali Kamara was gone for the first half last week against UCF, and we saw what they are without him.
And it's just where he's coming from. He's on the outside. He's going to get an inside move here to run the game with the defensive tackle, get to the quarterback and get him down to the ground. That's the hardest thing for a quarterback to see, is when you don't know that that defensive end is looping back around on the inside. And Bengali Kamara has been all over the field tonight.
You see what they got from him in the second half last week. A young man who didn't start playing football until high school.
Doesn't look like it.
Kamara couldn't get him that time. Hammond turns on the Jets, and maybe a confidence builder. See how quickly he pops up there? The best play tonight for Hammond, gain of 14.
And I told you, this zone read action, the defensive end is going to come down. He's going to get out to the outside, allow him to use his legs. That is part of what makes him dynamic as a dual threat quarterback and makes him settle in, feel like he's a part of the game. Will Hammond right there, use that speed. He's not sneaky athletic, people. He's just athletic.
He feels like the man right now. He got a block from Carter, and he's in. Touchdown! You could see it when he popped off the...
Bit better about themselves and have the momentum back on their side.
But you know, Robert, playing the position, him feeling better about...
8 wings, 5 breads.
Baron Morton greeting Will Hammond on the sideline, and Morton's reaction stands out, but watch Hammond's reaction right here. You see that whole tension-filled first half coming out of his lungs.
That deep breath is like, all right, we're in this, we're playing. You know, he's never expecting what happened to him at the end of the first half to happen because of how he played against Utah. But every game is a new game. And as a coach, your offensive coordinator, Mac Leftwich, you have to understand what it takes in that game to get your guy going. And it was the quarterback run, and we saw it right there.
Crowd's back in it. Maybe too much, though, because during the break, they just made an announcement here in the stadium that if the fans continue to throw objects on the field, there's going to be another penalty. And frankly, that is lenient by the officiating crew, because by the letter of the law, it should be another penalty against Texas Tech. They're supposed to get the one warning at kickoff. That's allowed because it's tradition, throwing the tortillas. Number 2 should not be a penalty. Number 3 and thereafter, by the letter of the law, is a penalty. And they're
bottom the entire day, 20 for 23, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. I've been really impressed because he's making the easy plays, but he's also making the special ones as well.
Daniels with a pump. He's going to roll to his right, and he is going to break free. He lost the ball. He crawls for it and picks it up at the 10-yard line.
Well, we said he's making the easy plays, but right here, David Bailey does a nice job wrapping him up, and that ball being in one hand. That's why we always say as a quarterback, keep 2 hands on the football when you're maneuvering around the pocket. Sometimes we get so confident and so willy-nilly with it that we can cause fumbles on our own. Good job of Jalen getting on it, but you certainly don't want to be stuck in 2nd and 25 on a routine basis.
They have one extra coach who's calling a 12-man blitz. Just what they need, another penalty. 2nd down and 25. It's a handoff. It is Hyshaw. He's swallowed up after a gain of 2, and you see the fist pump from O'Feely along with that linebacking core. Texas Tech a little bit thinner because of the injury to Skylar Gill-Howard, who came in with a couple of tackles for loss, but they are very deep at the edge.
Yeah, very deep at the ends. You know, you can hear the energy in this building now is starting to rise after that Will Hammond touchdown run. This defense understands we've already given up 17. That's already 6 more points than they've been giving up throughout the year because they've only given up 11.2. So here on 3rd and 22, they just can't give up the unconventional broken tackle that's going to allow Kansas to convert.
Got to get to the 35. Daniels lets it rip this way for Gruen, who slips and falls, and Texas Tech, for the moment, will still not have allowed a 3rd quarter immediately. It's a punt for Lappin. Aiken waves for it and makes the catch. So 46.
It's not.
things work together.
They became the Red Raiders 11 years after this. Ties here. He was just catching and running for season after season.
That guy used to be a nightmare for defensive backs. Had a chance to be teammates with him in Baltimore for the Baltimore Ravens, but watched him terrorize our DBs at Baylor for years.
Dickey hit by Lyric Rawls. You know, we were talking to Lincoln Riley about Michael Crabtree a couple of weeks ago when we had USC and the yards after the catch. He said, look, there was nobody with better spatial awareness. Catch the ball, he knew what was around.
Yeah, his ability to know where the nearest defender was and remember that after he caught it was second to none. Michael Crabtree, they used to have little crabs in the stands that they sold. Well, she probably would have made a lot of NIL money off of that, but that's another story for another time. But Crabtree, one of the greatest players in Texas Tech history. Good to see those guys come back here for homecoming.
Yeah, there is a lot of energy around this program as Hammond missed Virgil there. It's a 3rd and 6. All of the forward marching from this offense was Hammond's ground and pound at the end of that drive. We'll see what they're called as 3rd and 6 here. Kansas rushes 3, and Hammond down the middle, batted away by Kamara in coverage that time. Man, what a game he's having.
Listen, Bengali Kamara is a linebacker, and he's out here playing on the outside on number 7, Terrence Carter Jr., who's a mismatch for everybody. And you can see Hammond, that big relief that he gave after the touchdown run, he's like, man, I still haven't quite figured it out in the passing game just quite yet.
Will he have to? We will find out. Nagy back to receive to the sideline, and he's out of bounds. He catches it, actually. So Kansas inside the 20. And we invite you to start your Saturday strong with Big Noon. Explosive duo Bryce Underwood and Justice Haynes lead Michigan against Washington at the Big House. How about Jonah Coleman last night? Washington Huskies starts at 10 a.m. Eastern with Big Noon kickoff in Washington, Michigan, only on Fox. The rushing touchdown leader in college football as of last night, Jonah Coleman.
Yeah, quietly, if you're not watching those late night games, the Washington Huskies are playing their tails off, and they're always a tough route.
Kansas has done most of this without a run game. 26 yards on the ground. It's Daniels to throw, and he's got it complete for Pickett, who is dragged down nicely. What a tackle by McCarty, who looked like he was going to get shaken.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to pull him down by the shirt. You see this ball low and away to Pickett, and McCarty just said, hey, man, you're not going nowhere. Come to me now. Get over here.
Was that 3 references in one?
I think that was Mortal Kombat.
That is a trifecta.
Scorpion just came out of me there, you know?
Finish here. 2nd and 7 for Kansas. Bruin, the tight end, detaches from the formation, trips up top for Daniels. 2nd down, they block height for the moment to allow Daniels to get it away for Pickett to the 50-yard line. It's a 1st down for Kansas, gain of 26.
Oh, they just do a really nice job of isolating right here. Ben Roberts, the linebacker, on Cam Pickett. Hey, get him to come to you, then boom, jerk route right back inside and finish vertical. Nice call right there to find the perfect matchup.
Daniels peels away, and he gets by Roberts this time and then slides. It looks like he should have the 1st down. He did cross the line again. It's 11. Do you see on that replay the great job by Herring, though, to clear Daniels to throw that previous pass? Now the legs.
Yeah, you just talk about the opening of the C's, the middle of the defense. They have to maintain their rush lanes if you're Texas Tech, because now Jalen Daniels is in such a rhythm. Only 3 completions on the entire day. He's making plays with both his arm and his legs.
That opens it up for Highshaw. Strong run for Daniel Highshaw. It's a gain of about 9. 2nd down, 1, and now Kansas is 2-dimensional again.
Yeah, and Highshaw right there again, outside zone. They cut the defense with the center being able to get up to the 2nd level. Highshaw makes that cutback. And if you're Kansas, you have to feel good about what you're doing. Your quarterback is playing at a high level. Your running game is starting to get going just a little bit. and you're keeping this Texas Tech defense, which I believe is the best in the country, on the field for extended periods of time.
See the motion that time from Henderson. He's part of the bunch at the bottom, and Daniels looks that direction. He lets it ride. It's tipped it incomplete for a million. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Daniels pass incomplete.
Roberts was coming in on him and bearing down hard.
Yeah, and that was Ben Roberts who was bearing down on him, who ends up tipping the ball. We always say if you can't quite get to the quarterback, get your hands up. Play volleyball a little bit. You know, these guys love going to the volleyball games during the season in the fall to watch the ladies, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, go out there and make plays. So he's learning some things from those volleyball players, getting his hands up and knocking it down.
Daniels went up to the line. Now a play action. He's down.
Get a little too cute. And now that puts you in a situation here, 4th and 10. Going for it, and this crowd is loud.
And there's Daniels punting again. We mentioned that he did it against BYU last year. This one ends up
giving the football to your stud running backs, Cameron Dickey and Jacoby Williams.
There's Dickey, and that's an easy yard. Plus, Dickey and Rawls meet again. And
at West Texas Nissan.
Veterans Day Parade. Join us.
Come out and do. We're running the ball really well. We kind of got some of the momentum back and settled down on defense.
How has your group rallied around Will Hammond here at quarterback?
Yeah, man, Will's one of those guys. When Barron had surgery in the spring, he took every one rep. He's one of those guys that people just love to be around, and he's a really good football player.
Appreciate the thoughts. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
kind of a haze hovering over the quarterback situation and the stadium. This is from the fireworks, the pyrotechnics of the third quarter break. This looks like a Western now. Saloon doors should open before the first play from scrimmage for Texas Tech. I don't know that they can play like this.
I don't know if they can play either, but it definitely looks like a good old Southern Plains standoff.
Where are the tumbleweeds? You bring any tumbleweeds?
Not any tumbleweeds.
You remember that Super Bowl? It was Titans-Rams. They did the fireworks indoors, and they had to wait to play?
Yeah.
I get. Anybody got any TV windshield wipers? Here we go. First down. They're going to play it. Hammond, that quarterback, his head coach just said they like to rally around. Hammond is under pressure, and he grounds it right in front of his intended target. Carter Lyric Rawls was in there again.
Jason, we've been talking about it. Lyric Rawls coming off the edge. This guy is playing at a different level. He's hiding a little bit, gets inside on the C gap, so quickly gets there that the quarterback can't even throw a screen. That's when you talk about a guy playing at a different speed than everyone else. I don't know if anyone's wanted it more than Lyric Rawls tonight. He is all about that action, boss.
First-year guy, too. Transfer from Oklahoma State, spent a lot of time with Mike Gundy. Yeah, they get it right back to Hammond on the ground, and it's the right choice. He pirouettes out of bounds. That's been their best play with him at quarterback and got him a touchdown earlier. This is 15.
I'm telling you, they bring in this guard, Jados, on. They're bringing him around and bringing the tight end around as well as a lead blocker for Hammond on this counter play. And this is what gets him going. And sometimes you just got to go with what's working, man. If they can't stop the fadeaway, keep shooting the fadeaway. They cannot stop Will Hammond using his legs in the run game. Keep going to it. It's giving him confidence, and it's helping this offense move the ball.
I think Joey McGuire gave a clue to Alexa in her interview, by the way. It was good work by Alexa. He said, we're running the ball well, like do it more. Like Dickey on the gas pedal in. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
A lot of grand slams tonight.
His longest run of the year was 24 in the first 5 weeks. Now
This
100-yard game tonight. He's over.
You saw with the Mike Leach style offense.
Joey McGuire and Jacob Rodriguez. But this can't happen. Think about this, Robert. Later in the year, what if they're unbeaten and there's a college football playoff berth on the line and they're getting 15-yard penalties here and there for tortilla throwing?
Yeah, in that situation, now the crowd is actually hurting the team that they're rooting for. And we've seen some tortillas fly around Texas Tech's bench. But I think they're really calling this penalty because the tortillas or whatever objects are being thrown on the field are being thrown at the opposing team's bench.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that is, you just have to have more sportsmanship. No matter how many alcoholic beverages you have in your body, you got to be able to have discernment.
Or how much good, clean fun you're having either. Daniels on the roll with an extra 15 yards behind him. He'll throw it down the field, and it's knocked away. Incomplete. Wisniewski went up for it to knock it free from Kubeka, and it's second down.
Yeah, Jalen Daniels just missed this throw by about 5 yards. If he makes it a little bit deeper, they've got an opportunity to score. But you see Wisniewski go up and make the play on this ball to knock it down right at the last second. That's what you call being the high safety. Nothing gets deeper than you, and if it does, you got to make a play, and that's what he did.
You could argue, if you're a Kansas fan, that Amir Boyd got there earlier than he should have and created some contact. There was no flag. It is second down for Daniels. And he'll throw it high, incomplete. Bruin on a misfire. That's just the 6th incompletion for Jalen Daniels tonight. You wonder if all of the work he's done and all the hits he's taking are piling up.
Yeah, and right there, you know why he threw that one high?
Why?
Because he's got David Bailey and Lee Hunter barreling down on him once again, not able to truly step into that throw, and then took a massive hit from both of them after it. This offensive line has to bite down on their mouthpieces and protect their quarterback. He's the only chance they have in this game. He has been playing at a high level, but he can't do it alone.
Hunter and Holmes in the middle, Height and Bailey on the outside, and we'll get a timeout. Kansas has really struggled on third down this year. They're 5 for 12 for the game.
Music was played right up until the quarterback was under snap. Resetting the ball will be third down.
Am I wrong there?
You're not wrong. I agree with you 100%.
Now they're real lathered up. Daniels. Pressure coming. It is incomplete, and there's a mark
from running out. So, yes, the ball is uncatchable, but that's why it's not pass interference.
Exactly.
And they call defensive holding.
And Daniels has seen enough football to know that that should be a foul. It was 6 penalties for Texas Tech. Every flag pokes the bear of this crowd more and more. It's Highshaw slamming on the brakes and then darting inside to the 46.
When you talk about the crowd getting into it and all the flags really riling them up, these fans have a pretty high football IQ. They also understand, listen, it's 35-17 right now. This is a crucial drive. The way that Kansas takes time to score, if they don't get points here, get 7 here, this game could very well be over.
Daniels, near side, got it to Henderson, and the ball's on the ground. It skates near the out-of-bounds line. To the sideline it goes. Let's see. It's
is down, the elbow's down, he is down. Both ways, but you want to get that sense.
It will be Kansas's ball, first down at that spot.
It's a gain of 19. Just to finish this, Mike, you know, if he's got somebody with him, attached to him, how do you judge if he turned upfield and made a football move like this?
Yeah, it's just you have to kind of take that element out of it. And again, you know, it's just his movement. So you've got that 3-step process. You've got control, a body part, and then a turn. And they did feel that was enough.
Mike, thank you, as always. Off the gain of 19, Kansas from the 27 in Texas Tech territory. Daniels, a lot of time. He's going to run, and there's a hold coming. And Daniels is spun down by John Curry, but a Kansas penalty that they just could not afford.
Yeah, they're going to call that on. Put on the spot in the wrong way.
To set up a first down at 20, they'll go to the tight end, Bruin again, and he is smothered by Romello Height. He's just a nightmare to deal with. And look at the energy after 47 minutes of football.
Yeah, these guys, Romello Height, David Bailey, this defensive front 7, it's almost as if they take smelling salts before every single snap. That is how hard they are playing. They don't understand. It doesn't feel like they feel pain or see pain. But I do have to say one thing going back to that catch by Emmanuel Henderson Jr. Personally, if that's not a catch, I don't know what is.
It was. Take a breath. We're good. I saw it in your eyes, though, as we were breaking it down. You were like, there's got to be a catch. Here comes pressure again. Daniels throws it far side for Canty one more time.
Romello Height. Enrique Cruz Jr. said, oh, my goodness, this guy's fast. Put his arm around his neck. You can't do that. There's just, at some point, you got to let him go and look at your quarterback and say, run, look out. It's better than the hold because now you're in 2nd and 29. And you have a quarterback like J.D. Daniels. Yes, you want to protect him. You don't want him to get hit. But these penalties are starting to add up and affecting their comeback attempt.
They got to get all the way down to like 17 and a half. It's a long way, especially when these guys are coming for you. Bailey first.
Their 8th sack of the game.
Merciless. 7 straight games now for Bailey, dating back to last year with at least half a sack. And Kansas is just going to run this thing with Highshaw. And off the spin, he gets clocked. Choppers, he's hitting people on a football field. We saw him before the game just playing catch with fans. I mean, he is as likable of a guy as you'll see in college football. And in what has been an offensive game for so long in the Big 12, this Texas Tech defense could carry them.
Old Spice.
A big lead here in the 4th quarter, trying to protect that. Make sure you take a listen to Robert's podcast, Out of Pocket with RG3, available YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. My question to you is, what's the dress code on the podcast?
Dress code? Yeah, you know, a lot of people taking their shirts off nowadays, so you can come. As long as you're wearing socks, you're good.
Face paint, shirtless. Is that okay?
That is okay.
Can we paint ourselves like the Joker for Batman?
I think that's a character that you could actually play pretty well. What do you think about that, Jason?
Make this pencil disappear.
No, but seriously, appreciate that. And, you know, podcast is having a lot of fun. You fans at home checking us out. Me and my wife, 87-time All-American. We're just having a good time. So if you love football, you love sports, and you want to have fun talking about it, come join the huddle.
You have a great time on that podcast.
Yeah, you do.
It's not even work for you.
Not at all.
I know. There's a handoff for Dickey, and he finds door number 2 and switches back. That is a nasty, gross cut to the 35-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. I just want y'all to watch. Lyric Rawls, we've been talking about number 2 for Kansas. Watch this cut by Cameron Dickey. Oh, my good God. He sent that man's ankles to layaway. Watch him break through, set him up, stop on a dime, get back vertical. Hey, Cameron Dickey this might be his coming out party.
Oh, big time. You don't hear much about layaway anymore.
You don't. I guess I just aged myself a little bit there, huh?
I love it. You look like you can still play and you're aging yourself in layaway. Handoff for Dickey on a run to the 37. 2nd down coming up. You know, Kansas talked about withstanding the early rush from Texas Tech. Credit to the Red Raiders. They did the same thing when Kansas scored 17 into the locker room.
Yeah, they did. And, you know, you have to give credit first to Kansas and Lance Leipold and defensive coordinator DK McDonald for Kansas of allowing their troops to kind of calm down, not panicking. But then when you look at it from Texas Tech, they've had so many injuries already, losing their starting quarterback, and to be able to find a way to get this thing back righteous has been impressive. That's what championship teams do.
And now Dickey trying to turn the corner on the outside. He's been running even further beyond the 2000, but we know for now 25 years and counting.
Continuing to age myself. In 2000, I was 10 years old.
Y2K, RG3. Hammond throws it in.
That's something that offensive coordinator Matt Leftwich is going to have to figure out. How do we get him in rhythm, and how does that change between him and Baron Morton?
He was 13 for 16 in that game against a very... Beatons left in the Big 12 Conference. Cincinnati went to 3-0 today with a victory over UCF. BYU trailing now to Arizona. Arizona State within 7. But they love Jacob Rodriguez here at Lubbock, Texas, and it's because they might have their best season ever this year.
Yeah, and you look at this list, Arizona State's got some quarterback issues. Now we see Texas Tech might have some as well. But the one constant among those is that Texas Tech has the best defense, and that could very well be the thing that helps them win.
As Williams on the run for Kansas. Oh, he is just jarred and displaced in the hole by Curry. John Curry sets up 2nd and 8. Goodness.
Yeah, I want you guys to watch John Curry right here where he's coming from. I like a hybrid safety linebacker position. Gets downhill and really lays the wood on Le'Shawn Williams.
Here's Levi Wentz, who pays for his troubles. It's a gain of 9 for Kansas. Jayhawks team, yeah. They're hitting in a big way. You're watching it again up here in the booth, and it is some big-time collision stuff. That's got to be a hold. Here it comes. Yeah, Amir Herring was just trying to make sure.
This guy, Jalen Daniels, for the rest of the season. So they've got to find ways in this last 6 minutes of the game to not get him beat up too much.
They've got the in-state game coming up against Kansas State after a bye. Harry Stewart on this carry. That's his first of the night. There's another marker in.
There's another hold, it looks like, on Herring again.
There's no foul for holding on the play.
He doesn't just sit there and wait and say, well, this is what coach told me to do. This is my responsibility. He says, okay, I see it, I diagnose it, and he pushes send and goes and finds the football. I love watching this guy play football.
There's no undo button for Rodriguez. Here's Daniels just getting rid of it to Gruen, the tight end, on a middle screen to the 39. Can we double back for a second? I love that we talked about eye candy off the top of the show and not worrying about the motion and everything, just being great in your reads. I love that you made the audience do it. You circled what they shouldn't look at and said, don't look at this. Do this instead. You're just testing to see if they watched off the top of the show. It's great. Oh, look out. That whistle.
At the drop of a dime, this is one of the most ferocious pass rushes I've ever seen.
Here comes again. It's Romello Height this time. And down he goes. Holmes was in there. Holmes transferred from Houston. He stayed home at first. He went to Ed Oliver's high school in Westfield. And then came here to Texas Tech. Aiken rustles up a return. Cowboy Coy keeps his feet. Here he goes. He's across the field.
Oh, man.
Austin Alexander, who got the brunt of. He's tough. He got into a rodeo accident when he was 10. He broke his leg, and he ended up now, currently, right now, on that return. He wears a size 14 shoe on his left foot and a size 12 shoe on his right foot. That's tough. Here's a run for Dickey. He's been an absolute disaster to tackle tonight for Kansas. Down to the 10-yard line. He's got 263 on the ground.
Oh, my goodness. They're going to bring around the tight end, John Carlos Millis II, and their small guard, Davion Carter, to get him around the edge. And Cameron Dickey's trying to run for 300 yards. That's what it feels like to me right now. He said, you know what? I haven't had a 100-yard game before, so why not make it 200? Why not make it 3?
Well, they're going to need a penalty to get him to school record, though, because he doesn't have enough room. It's first and goal. He's got 263. The school record is Byron Hanspard. Great running back against Baylor in 1996. 287 for Byron Hanspard that year against Baylor. Fake it to Dickey. Hammond on the run. He's got Pater to Mott. Oh!
Lead with your pads, young man. Will Hammond's had a frustrating day throwing the football. But right there, he said, get in the weight room. Yeah, that's right. Even the quarterbacks lift weights at Texas Tech. He put that shoulder down to let them know he meant business.
That was Austin Alexander who got the brunt of it, who's had a really nice retro freshman season for Kansas. But Will Hammond, they make sure you feel it And that's got to help them as the season wears on.
Yeah, it does. When you're an offense and you know, hey, late in this game, we're throwing some checkdowns, you see how they are pursuing the football. When we talked to defensive coordinator Sheil Wood, he said, you know what? We're always going to play with maximum effort and strain. You see it.
Yeah.
And I also have to give a shout out to Jacob Rodriguez for that mustache, because at some point we're going to see his mustache again. It is an epic, full face of hair mustache that is incredible.
Yeah, we're going to try and get there after this play on a tackle by Ramirez. So rate the mustache.
1 out of 10. I think it's a solid 9.7.
You think so?
Really, it's really thick, bushy, and it has little handlebars off to the side as well. Not quite all the way down the face, you know, but hey, man, if I see a middle linebacker like that, I know he means business. He's tough.
We'll get the marker first.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 88, defense. 15.
It's coming soon.
It's coming soon. I wonder what it's going to look like then.
You and the rest of America. First down for Kansas. Ballard will swing it out wide. That's Stewart, our freshman tailback, who is ushered out of bounds.
Ballard's pass complete.
This should be the 2-minute timeout coming up. They had to slide in one more ALCS promo with the Tigers guy in the booth. That's great. Earning the higher Q rating in Detroit, presiding over that. Here's another handoff. No, congratulations. Landmines all over the college football landscape today of unbeatens going down. Oregon loses at home to Indiana. Oklahoma loses in Red River. But without Behren Morton, their quarterback, for the balance of this game, Texas Tech has held off Kansas.
Yeah, they have, and it's been a very, very wacky game of how we've gotten to this 42-17. But I think Texas Tech found out something about themselves tonight, and that's if they have to run the football every single play, they can do it.
That's great news for this team as they get another stop here. By the way, it is officially 8 sacks, but it's felt like 18. They did take one away on something that turned into a 1-yard gain, whatever it might be. 8 sacks tonight is a massive number for this defense.
Yeah, it is, and you talk about who's the catalyst. Well, it's the guys getting up the field the hardest. David Bailey, number 31, and number 9, Romello Height. David has 3 tonight. Romello Height has 2 sacks, but you've also got other guys that are feasting. A.J. Holmes ended up getting 2 sacks, and it's just a collective effort from this defense, and defensive coordinator Sheil Wood knows it's a luxury to not have to actually blitz to create pressure. This defense is scary.
Now Ballard sees that pressure. He'll swing it out wide for Stewart. He's got a first down after the first.
On the field before the game that this Texas Tech team is generally more talented than Kansas, but they showed enough fight early on to climb back in. I actually think it was a smart decision to pull Jalen Daniels out, knowing that he had been hit so much and had those 8 sacks. But they still have to keep chopping away the way that they have been. They know that the way that they win games is by slowing the game down and keeping the other offense off the field. And this is probably the first true blowout game that they've had all year.
They've got a big one with Kansas State coming up October the 25th, as we'll give you our game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Now, Behren Morton gets hit. It flips the game. He wanted to stay in, Robert, couldn't, and then Kansas scored 17 straight.
Yeah, it did. The Behren Morton injury really turned things around in this game, but then it was Will Hammond in the quarterback run game, getting him back in sync, and Cameron Dickey going off for 263 rushing yards. I mean, Texas Tech had 9 plays of 20-plus yards and 4 touchdowns on that. And then defensively, the 8 sacks and 12 tackles for loss really is what helped blow this game away.
It is the 5th largest rush game in Texas Tech history as we come down to zeros here. We have a whistle. The clock was still moving for a moment. Here's the remaining schedule for Texas Tech. On Fox next week in Tempe. Then Oklahoma State at Kansas State, which they showed today there's still life in that team against TCU. Boy, BYU here on November 8th. This place is going to be a madhouse.
It's the Big 12 has just really been a topsy-turvy league. Everybody can beat everybody, and that's why every single week you show up, you have to be on your A game. And for Tech, they weren't necessarily on their A game tonight offensively, but they found their B game. And that B game was pretty impressive. And sometimes when you are trying to win a Big 12 title and trying to be a national championship contender, you have to win games like this in unconventional ways that you're not used to.
They're still trying to jump routes there. That's Amir Boyd on the coverage. You know, they average 560-plus yards per game. That was #1 in the country coming in. Without Baron Morton for a chunk of this game, they're still at 505. He's having a good enough night. He's talking to the kicker, Belafonte. How often did you talk to the kicker?
What's wrong with talking
Every
to the
time I bring up kickers, you're like, yeah, but the offense.
No.
They're like, yeah, but the defense.
I love the kickers. They just got one job. And if they don't do that job, nobody likes the kickers.
I just like the inclusiveness by Baron Morton. 3rd down and 6. Ballard. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. That is a statement by Texas Tech's defense right there. I mean, yikes.
Terrell Tillman right here coming on that loop. They've been running this game, this entire game up front, and he just pushed him down. He didn't even tackle him. He just pushed him down.
If Texas Tech's season so far could be one play, it would be that one. The Red Raiders have dominated everybody they've run into, winning by at least 24 in each game behind this defense. And a tough offense as well. 7th time in school history, they're 6-0, but they have more on their mind than just 6-0 here in Lubbock.
Of course, the concern coming out of the game is the health of their starting